My name is Reverend Donna Seraphina. I am a legally ordained spiritualist reverend. When it comes to unsolved murders, I am definitely the psychic you would want to use, and there are several reasons for this. Aside from the fact that I'm incredibly accurate and detailed, as evidenced in the Idaho case, I've put a lot of time and work into developing my gifts. So I have spent many hours and quite a bit of money studying with some of the world's top psychics. After the death of my daughter in 2011, I decided to commit my life to exploring the world beyond our senses. And one of the missions that I decided would give meaning to my life is to show other people that their loved ones still exist. And that once a person dies a physical death, they go back to their home, which is the spirit world. That's the main place. And they can still interact with the physical people if the physical people are open to it. And now, if we move to the case of Tylee Ryan and J.J. Vallow, I did solve that case. Yeah, absolutely. On January 31st, 2020, I uploaded the first of 12 readings. 10 of these readings were uploaded prior to the discovery of the remains of Tylee and JJ. I accurately described in that reading on January 31st extreme details, graphic, extensive, very detailed descriptions of the murder of both children at a time when people were mostly assuming that Lori had just hid them with their friends at a prepper camp or in some cult, and that the kids were just in hiding. They didn't have any idea what state they were in. It wasn't publicly known when they were last seen. Nobody had these answers. And I uploaded the answers on January 31st and sent it off to law enforcement. And if you go back to that reading, Tylee Ryan, most important, uploaded January 31st, I talk all about the murder. And what I can say is, honestly, I am the only living witness to the murders of Tylee Ryan and J.J. Vallow, as well as Charles Vallow. I am the only living witness to these murders. I saw what happened. And when they did, 4 months later, after that, dig up the remains of these children, everything that I had said was confirmed in the affidavit for Chad Daybell's property, in the charging papers that came a week later, and in the preliminary hearing for Chad Daybell. But
I'm definitely seeing a bag over the head, and I'm seeing something I did not see the other time is duct tape around that bag, around the head. Okay, so I'm seeing Lori is the person who did it. She put the bag over the head. She also feels like she did the duct tape. Like she's just not, she just goes like full bore steam ahead. She's got, you would think she would have done the duct tape first, but I'm seeing her cases like she puts the duct tape, she puts that bag over his head and she's like twisting it around, trying to like make sure he can't get air. And then I know some man is there, and okay, I'll just get, because I know there's someone man there that comes and helps her, but right now I haven't seen that yet, because what I'm getting, they want to show me that she was struggling because she was like holding this on his head, and he's trying to push her hands away. So he's trying to push her arm, he's trying to push her chest, but he's not strong enough, and she's holding it down, and she's trying to get this duct tape. She's trying to use her teeth to get duct tape with one hand while she's trying to hold his neck. She's trying to squish his neck, hold the bag on his neck, but he's trying to fight her. He's trying to I don't know if he can really scratch, but he's trying to get her away, push her away. He's struggling, so it's not being as easy as she wanted. That's when the guy, whoever's there, that's when the guy comes across, and And he holds the face. Now he's got his whole hand over the face and his hand over the neck, while she's pulling out this duct tape now, and she's wrapping duct tape around where his neck is.
Okay. And what did you do after that?
And then after that, the rest of the team continued the excavation of the grave. And then eventually we uncovered the entire body that was wrapped in this black plastic bag with a lot of duct tape, intermingled.
Black plastic bag and its contents from the ground.
Yeah, once the complete excavation was done, where you could see the human remains wrapped in the black plastic, and we can take photographs and scans, the coroner was called in, and a body bag was placed, and then the team removed the body, which was given to the coroner.
Okay. Once you arrived in the autopsy room, what was the first thing you observed?
The first thing I observed was the black bag that was covered in duct tape that had been removed from the area underneath the tree by the pond, was placed on the table.
Okay, and you recognize that as the same black bag?
Yes.
How did you recognize that?
The duct tape and the black plastic that had still had dirt all over it.
Okay.
I observed a small child in red pajamas, red pajama shirt, red pajama pants. I also observed a light and blue blanket that had been placed on top of him.
Okay.
The amount of duct tape that was covering the body.
Okay. Where was that duct tape located?
On the head, arms, and feet.
Okay. Let's talk about the head area. When you looked at the head, what did you observe there?
The head had a white plastic bag over the top of it. It appeared to be a normal trash bag, had a red drawstring. It appeared to be the expandable type of trash bag with the waffle style pattern on top of the head.
Okay. And you had mentioned duct tape there. Where did you observe the duct tape?
There was duct tape that was tightly wrapped around this way, tightly from his chin to his forehead area. Several layers of duct tape tightly wrapped.
Okay. What did you observe the medical examiner and his team do with that material?
They ended up using a small sharp instrument and cut down the middle of it to expose what was underneath.
Okay, and when they exposed underneath, what did you observe?
An additional piece of duct tape that was stretched from jawline to jawline across the mouth.
Okay, and when you say across the mouth, at this point, were you looking at this child's face?
I was.
Okay.
But the thing of it is, I have a lot more details than the state has even put out yet. And I don't know if some of the things they don't know, because I know literally thousands of people have called the tip lines based on my readings. Because there's a lot of people out there who are getting chills and goosebumps and knew that what I was saying was valid. The good thing is that at that time, there was a lot of skeptics and I was taking a lot of heat. Because of that, some of the more fraudulent people in the true crime world were not copying my work and trying to take credit for, as they do now when I upload something. So thank God for that. It turns out to be a blessing in disguise that I was being attacked and vilified for having the nerve to say these children are dead. They were murdered at different times. The girl was chopped up and eaten by her parents. The boy was strangled. I described everything. So if you want to hear about what actually happened during these murders, please go back to Tylee Ryan, most important, uploaded January 31st, 2020. If you want to know the whole story, if you want to know what really happened to Tylee, you have to listen to that reading, because I am literally the only person who knows who's talking, who wasn't part of the murders. I hope you'll join us in the coming weeks as we go back through this case with a fine-tooth comb and we put out information that nobody else has. Again, I am the only living witness. So, sickening as it is, I proved a lot. And one really neat thing that I proved to people was the existence of the spirit world. And some of the comments I like the best are the people who came back later. Like some people just attacked me at the beginning, and then they came back 4 months later and they said, boy, when they found those bodies and they were exactly like you said they'd be, I never believed in any of this until this happened. And those comments mean the most to me because that's the mission I accepted in 2014 as near and dear to my heart, that one of the strongest mediums in the world came up to me and he told me that if we could prove the existence of the world beyond the physical body, then a lot of the other problems in the world would just work themselves out. And I took that to my heart. And since then, that has been my mission. Because here I am saying these two kids were murdered at different times and the girl was chopped up and they ate the girl and the boy was suffocated and wrapped in black plastic with duct tape. And I'm literally very specific, and those people weren't going to take a chance on saying all these things. It'd be too obvious. Well, I was proven right. So that's my case. And that's the case of the missing Idaho children. I solved it. I am the only living witness to those murders. I'm the only person who knows what actually happened. And in those readings, I talk about what actually happened. There's actually more readings than I haven't even uploaded. So I'd like for you to join me. And if you have questions that you want answered about that case, any other case, or questions about being a psychic medium or questions about the spirit world, please write me at Reverend Donna Seraphina at gmail.com. Just put in the subject line what it's about, and I'll try to answer those questions online. I really am glad that you joined me, that I really enjoy being inspired to prove the spirit world to you. In the meantime, please subscribe, please hit the bell, and you can help me the most by sharing my videos. Share them across social media, send them by email to people. If you know of people who are interested in readings, please share my channel with them. And then we can get back to business of proving the afterlife. And with that, I just want to thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you like my work and you feel it's valuable and you want to make a contribution, you can become a Patreon, where then it takes a little monthly amount out, or you can make a one-time donation on the GoFundMe or PayPal. So there's a lot of ways you can purchase my book. I wrote a book, Motherhood to Mediumship. It's a bunch of little stories about the pathway, a different pathway than just crying and grieving, but of actually exploring the afterlife, which is what I did. So I have all these things going on. Like I said, I do readings all the time. And again, I solved the case of the missing Idaho children on January 31st, 2020. I did approximately 10 readings. I did several of them with Kresha K. Easton. She is the niece of Charles Vallow. She's the biological aunt of the children, JJ. She's the biological aunt of JJ. And we did several readings. And then I did one of the readings with a relative of Joe Ryan. It's not the relative who's commonly in the media, but it's a relative that did actually have a closer relationship with Joe, but who doesn't choose to be public. So I'm not going to mention her name. And with that, I'm just so glad you joined us. And please keep checking back, because we're going to go through and talk about what really happened during those murders. We're going to talk about the things that nobody else is talking about, which is the truth. And so thank you. I just want to thank you for joining me today. All right, my name's Donna, Reverend Donna Seraphina. If you could help get the word out by sharing my videos, that would be fantastic. Even if you don't have money to donate, that's something you can do for free. So with that, we'll get started. Thank you. Bye.